this time, I think
the people who will design and ensure implementation of the policy on persons with disabilities heard personal tales of what it was like to be disabled in St. Lucia. These tales came from a number of disabled St. Lucians who, along with talking about their personal experience, also gave recommendations for making their lives more comfortable. One woman, a digital employee and mother of a 5-year-old girl, talked about electronic needs. Gary Jules, a secretary and two-time Youth Awards winner, spoke of limitations at educational institutions. Bertram Emmanuel asked for more access for people with wheelchairs.
Special television to read the information at the airport. Special item that has lights blink in cars if there is any police ambulance pass. Special TTY to help victims of hearing impaired in cases of rape, fire, emergency, abuse, attacks.
There's a need for increased accessibility, because in my early days at school, you find there are places at the school that are not accessible. So there needs to have something in place. Maybe the Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Ministry of Communications and Rural School, and to find some way of improving accessibility of schools on the island.
You see a building is coming up, and then you will go to the contractor and you tell him, are you going to put a ramp in the building? He'll tell you that is not in the contract, in the you know. So I find they should pass some laws. So when people doing buildings, they forced to put a ramp to get into the building.
Cynthia Weeks is the acting president of the National Council for and of Persons with Disabilities. She says the inter-ministerial consultation is a critical part of making the legislation law. Weeks says the district councils that make up the National Council have been particularly vigilant about getting the draft policy enacted.
it is going to provide a framework from which we're going to operate. Because right now, there's nothing legislated with regard to the rights of persons with disabilities or provisions made for persons with disabilities at a governmental level. So this policy will address those critical issues that's going to improve the quality of life for persons with disabilities.
Weeks is confident the policy will be passed and supported by the general public. She says St. Lucians are a caring community that has worked hard to overcome past abuses of disabled people.
In all fairness to St. Lucians, they are very aware of persons with disabilities, and I must say they have been coming forward. If we go to persons for assistance at various levels, they will respond positively. Our public has been more sensitized and more aware of persons, physical disabilities, or persons who are deaf, persons who are mentally challenged. We do not have the problem of persons calling those children names anymore as it was in the past.
The inter-ministerial workshop was held at the NIC conference room. Carmi Joseph, HTS News, Channel 4.